Hey y'all, it's me. I have had, excuse me, several different messages over a certain period of time where people have been like, hey, where's your videos? And really, I've been just waiting for a time to feel inspired because it's kind of like writing an essay that you don't really care about. It's just hard. But you write about something you love, and it's easy. Speaking of love, that is the topic for today. And the reason why I felt inspired was because of this lady at work. I've been stewing over this a couple of days. Excuse me. And so, what happened at work was, this lady made me crack up, and I told her that I loved her. And she told me that I threw around the word love very loosely, and that she doesn't love everybody, and if she don't like somebody, she ain't gonna treat them like they do. It's okay. That's her life. I know that a lot of people respect that nowadays. But nowadays, it seems like people limit their love. It's not that it seems that way. Observe the world. It is that way. People limit their love to their own children. People limit their love to interpersonal relationships, like with a significant other. People limit their love to family, friends, animals, and the rest of the people just suck. Who cares? No, it's just my sick humor. Bear with me, y'all. But nowadays, we have so many limitations on love to where it's almost wrong to love everybody, and nobody thinks that way, and that's okay, but, maybe sharing my perspective will help other people embrace others with love, because it is the highest energy in the world. And I could go into more energy talk, but one of the reasons why that is important is because everything is energy. I'm energy. My words are energy. My movements are energy. And energy can... Again, I didn't want to go into energy work. I shouldn't say... It's important because we all were born of that love. And being that it is the highest energy in the world, it's the energy that can make everything great. It's the energy that can make everything work. It's the energy... Why don't people see what I see? No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. I want to digress. I'm going to get away from where I was. But, love. So, to me, there are two different types of love. Unconditional and conditional. And I used to actually compare this to family bonds, kids, animals, pets, whatever. But to me, those are just levels of bonds, not levels of love. Two different types of love, as I said. Unconditional love, just like the love of a parent and a child. And the love... Darn it, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm tired. I guess I should have waited until tomorrow. But whatever, I'm going to roll with it. Got unconditional love, just like that of a parent and a child relationship. Then you've got conditional love, where love is based upon conditions. And you can actually find out whether or not you actually love your loved ones unconditionally or conditionally by just asking yourself a lot of questions. Ask yourself, if my best friend went out and slept with my significant other, would I still love them? If your answer is no, your love is conditional. If your sibling went out and, let's say, killed somebody, would you still love them? Even if the situation was just because they were angry and just lost it, would you still love them? That would be unconditional love if your answer is yes. And don't you think, especially the people around here, I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel, but don't you think that if everybody embraced each other with love, like let's say around the Ferguson stuff, but still came from a place of love as far as justice instead of not screwing up, but burning everything down in Ferguson, don't you think that would have been better? I mean, that's just me digressing again. But, okay, so, excuse me once more. I get questions from people along the spiritual path. How do you love somebody that you don't know? How do you love somebody that you don't like? How do you love somebody that you hate? And I actually do my very best to practice what I preach. I don't just get up here and recite stuff that I've read to you guys. This is all stuff that I do. This is my life. And this is how I live my life. And so for me, when I began trying to observe my own relationships, I really wanted to make a challenge to me. There's only one person in this entire world that I've ever hated. I made it my personal challenge to love that person, to find love for that person. And so I know for a lot of people it's really odd, or it just doesn't even sound good to love somebody that you don't like. But if we all come from a place of love and we all treat everybody with love and we just leave hatred away, that would solve all of the problems. And so, for me, at least if you believe this, you should work on really, truly integrating this into your life. When I say that we were all born of unconditional love, I mean that we were born of unconditional love. Babies do not come out of the womb clawing their way out of the belly and just demons spawn. Like, they don't eat people and do wicked things or make bad choices. Babies are probably the most pure form of human beings in this world because, again, they're born out of love. And so when it comes to loving somebody unconditionally, you've got to remember that. When I did learn to love the person that I hated, my mindset was only ever focused on what was wrong. I said, oh, thanks for, truthfully, my daughter. It was her biological father, who I hated. I was like, oh, thanks for my kid. Still fucking hate you. Excuse my language for any underage watchers. But to me, I had to release all of that. If you have people who have hurt you, you don't have to lower your standards as a person to still love them. You don't have to eat shit for... you don't have to eat shit and God, I'm sorry. I'm really exhausted. What I'm trying to get at is you can still love somebody and not like them. You could still love somebody from afar and not have them as a main person in your life. And so, aside from releasing things that people have done that has hurt you, I think that when it comes to love, the first place you should start is yourself. You need standards. You need to love yourself. And if you don't want to be cheated on the entire time, or you don't want this to happen, and you just don't want to tolerate certain things that you flat out know will just hurt you, you don't have to. But you can still love somebody. I'm not going to get into the details of it because it's just irrelevant, and I have let all of this stuff go. But I was at such a low point, I spiraled myself into a complete depression and anxiety, which I also overcame myself. No pills, goodbye therapist. Again, irrelevant, digressing. And so, it's important to love yourself because, let's think about it like this. People always say treat others how you want to be treated. I say screw that. Because a lot of people don't even treat themselves with love. You know, if you don't even treat yourself well, you're going to treat somebody like that too. And so, work on your self-love. That's extremely important. You should have some kind of standards. Your self-worth should not be so low to the ground that you just let people walk all over you. But again, you can still love those people who have hurt you. For me, I see the beauty. I see the purity, and that's why I mentioned babies. I had to consciously see the beauty, even in the person that I hated, in order to find love again for him. It doesn't mean I'm in love. It doesn't mean he's my brother. It doesn't mean he's my dog and that I love him. I just have love for him. And I already let the cat out of the bag. I love my daughter's biological father because if he wasn't in my life, I never would have even gotten close to this. I would probably still be drinking. I would probably be putting things up my nose that just didn't belong there. Gratitude is something that you guys, it would be beneficial for you all to practice. I had to become grateful and consciously seek the good in this person. And then I had to release the things that held me back. I was holding on to money. I really wanted him to pay me back. But I realized, he owes 5 more people money that surpasses the $800 he owed me. There's no way I'm getting that money back. And I had to accept that. Accept that things have happened. If something is in the past, it is gone. And you are only keeping yourself stuck and stagnant in the moment to not move on from that, to focus on that. This video can even act as a sign to tell you, change your focus. Don't look back. It's over. Learn your lesson. Move on. It's okay. So, when loving others unconditionally, I would say, start with yourself. Accept and release the things that don't serve you. And release your judgment. Don't let other things scare you, because when you begin opening yourself to unconditional love, you open yourself to attract the people that you truly want to attract. The people who are going to love you no matter what. You can still look at somebody and say, I have love for you. I don't agree that you did this, this, and this, but I love you. Are you going to be my best friend? Are you going to be in my life every day making the hurtful choices that you make? No. But I still love you. And so, by consciously choosing to love others, you're also opening up your energy to receive that love. You're not going to be attracting so many situations that are hurtful. You're going to be attracting great things because it is the best energy there is. It's like a problem solver, really. It sounds silly. This video is already long enough as it is. I can go on and on about love, and maybe sometime I could organize my thoughts a little better and write it down on paper again for y'all. But really, I just wanted to make you think about the different types of love that are in your life. Are your relationships conditional based on conditions? Are your relationships unconditional? And again, I didn't really go on about gratitude, but be grateful for what you have. If you have a friend that lets you know that they're thinking about you or that they care about you, appreciate that and let them know. And so, I love each and every person because I see the beauty in all of them. Regardless of anything that anyone chooses to do, I love who they are at the heart. And by recognizing that in people, it gives them permission to be who they are and be themselves. And as I said just a moment ago, I could rant on and on, so I'm going to end this video. But I do hope that it really sparks some thinking for you guys. And I'm going to love myself and give myself some rest. So have a wonderful evening. Good night.